think today is solstice and winter is here, so that's why we have, let me take these things out. That's why we have the cute little winter hat scarf combo. It's cold and refreshing and good and feels good. I've been overheating. My body has been burning off stuff. And it's good. It's good. It's getting quieter and quieter the more that it's burning. And I'm sure it has to do with the timing of the holidays, which holidays is just holy days that we turned into like a commercial money spending thing to distract from the fact that these are holy burning fire days. Not in the way that we think of holy as like some majestic, wonderful, love-filled, which it is, but I think the more in tune you become with your body and with yourself and with reality, the more you realize the holy days are like a lot of shadow. It's winter. It's the darkest time of the year, right? We're approaching the darkest time of the year. So that's shadow work time. So that's holy in the sense of like you're doing your holy depth work. It doesn't mean you're floating like an angel on clouds of light, although it can include that. There's certainly moments of that, and that can be like a result of having done your shadow work. But the way that our culture just is constantly trying to shadow the shadow and distract with more glitz and glamour, light, flashy, strobe, ADD-ness. Our culture is one big ADD syndrome. So it's just like, oh, it's shadow time. Look at me, buy stuff. Don't feel really bad that you have to spend money to show people that you love them, and then also hate them and hate spending time with them, but you know you love them. And then you haven't been taught how to properly meet your shadow in yourself, so you also haven't been taught how to meet shadow together in community and connection with the people that you really actually do love, but have no clue how to be just honest and real with. I mean, what a joke. The whole thing is just one big farce. So I forgot these last couple weeks that I've been burning through my shadow stuff, that this is the right time. This is right on time. This is right on cue for this work. And if only it could be more in the consciousness accepted that this is what's happening for everyone, whether or not we feel it or are aware of it. It's happening for everyone. I mean, just look at the news. Like, I guess lately we're burning 24/7 no matter what the day, or cycle of the year. But yeah, it's people are getting murdered. I mean, like, people are getting murdered every day, sadly, but look, the famous big screen murders are happening in front of our face. Slander, I mean, just everything, all the evil, all the human consciousness shadow is coming to the light of awareness for all of us to look at, except unfortunately we still collectively are meeting it with an immaturity of fight it with more immature response of like, no, you did this, no, you did this, blame, point outwards, don't, just anything except for looking within, taking responsibility for what you actually are feeling, for what's actually happening in your body. It all jumps up to the head to story of, no, it's your fault and you're bad and we should vilify you and this is why you should vote for this candidate next time, and on and on and on with story, anything to perpetuate the cycle of otherism, of anything but me and anything but this that I'm feeling. And it'll just keep cycling. Samsara, as it's called, the wheel of suffering, of which we call life, normal life. So it just becomes so obvious, the disparity between the shadow work that's happening and then the pretending that it's not there, and the like smiles and presents and food, and then wait, we're obese and we're sick. Why? Because you shoved it all down with garbage and you kept eating when you should have just been feeling. And even the kind of eating you did was with literal processed garbage that no longer resembles actual food and nutrient and nourishment. Like, duh. Anyway, I just felt inspired to share under this bridge with the streaming water. So cool, so beautiful. And this is just like for myself, because I personally don't have a lot of people around me who are, I have tons of people around me who are aware of these concepts. No question. Like, I'm so grateful that pretty much anyone I can turn to, just even on the streets, I can talk to about this stuff and they get it. However, on like a relational level, I guess you can say, on like a close relationship level, I don't have anyone to really, I mean, not anyone. I have maybe a couple, but you know, just again, being part of this society, everyone's busy with their processing and their life and trying to keep their shadow work on tap. So I think a lot of us who are deep feelers are just hiding. And we know this is the right thing to do, to feel and be with our stuff. But also there's another added layer still of like, I'm in hiding. Lonely isn't the right word, because I don't feel lonely. It's like a cultural, societal overlay of like, this just doesn't feel right that I'm having to hide to do all this, because I've even lived in communities that celebrate this work together, and it's so beautiful and it's so rich and it's so healing. It just feels right. It just feels like, yes, this is what we're supposed to be doing. And honestly, since leaving those communities, I've always just trusted I'm gonna find more and more communities that are living together, doing the work together. But what I noticed, at least in my personal journey, is that as I got older and maybe more specific in like knowing myself more and what I like and don't like, and my sensitivities heightened even more. So I did just naturally want to like have my own personal space, and the kind of communities that exist already or that I had lived in are set up more for just like constant communal interaction, or like constant like pitching in together, and it sounds beautiful and wonderful and like the tribe way of living. But I do feel in my specific journey, and I've noticed with many others, the trend is that we're actually evolving towards a different model of, we're not just going backwards to like how we were living on the land together as a tribe. We're going always forward and integrating more modern concepts and just expansion of just natural expansion of what it means to be human and then human together and in relationship with ourselves and each other and the land. And while it still might look like living on land together and tending it together, it has to, at least for me, it's very clear, it has to look like I still have my autonomy and space and freedom I live in my own home, and I have the freedom to socialize when I want and when I don't want. And so it's very fluid rather than this like old commune or kibbutz model where it's like, no, your survival is dependent on you every day showing up together. And the fear is that if we did all have our own homes and the choice and the freedom to interact or not, is that nobody would pitch in and nothing would get done. And that's why this model of like obligation was born in communes, but also just in this society, in the normal modern society. It's still, everything is obligation. You work out of obligation to get money to survive. So it's still the same fear-driven model. Whereas in reality, if we were actually just like listening to our heart and our body and what we really want to do, it's naturally going to take care of itself, because obviously the body needs things to survive. So it needs food and it needs this and that. And so it's going to move itself to get it. And it's not just going to mooch off everyone else and then and then no one's going to want to work because we're all lazy. It's like, no, we're going to work when the body is ready to work. And we're going to tend to the land when the land is screaming at us going, yeah, you gotta tend me. And it's really hard to actually be like fully lazy and like turn off the obligation to get the food ready or clean or whatever, because your body makes you do it. It just does. And then, and then I'm sure there's people who are fine with mess and are fine with not eating as much, and then again it balances out, because then there's other people who do love cleaning and who do love cooking and who do love tending to the earth and electricians and whatever it is. Like, it's just very natural that when we follow our hearts and our body's natural movements, things get done when they need to get done. And so we're already seeing tons of systems and models that are thriving where people have their own home in like co-housing communities and like tiny house villages. And this is all the rage. And it's been really popular in Europe for a long time. And, of course, America's just starting to catch on. But this is the new way. And so it's very clear to me that's how I have to live, and in a community that's also doing their work of like, here's what's happening in me, and I'm learning the skills of how to communicate that clearly and honestly with others, and not in some fake like bullshit way, which, at the beginning is a phase. You learn like authentic relating and nonviolent communication, and it can feel fake in the beginning because you're using like a structure and it's mind concept based, and that's normal. You're learning. But eventually it just gets integrated and you just learn to just be honest with people. And it's the most natural thing ever. And it makes you so close and in a real way. Like then you can actually truly love the people you love without feeling like you have to hide yourself or hide how you really feel about them. And it also doesn't mean the opposite, that now you're just going to constantly dump all your opinions and judgments on people. It's not that, because again, when we follow our heart, it naturally wants to love. It naturally wants what's most healing for the body and for the other, which is the other is just you. It's just a mirror of you and your body. That's why our brains are wired for mirror neurons. That's why empathy is just a natural brain signal that happens, because They are you. There's no separation. You feel something and I feel it in my body the exact same. And to pretend that we don't is a lie, and is how evil is born, is to pretend like I don't care about you and I don't care that you feel like shit and I don't even feel like shit. I'm okay and you suck. And it's like, that's evil because it's a lie. And evil is a lie. It doesn't actually exist. There is no actual evil. There is no actual hatred. It's only when you just lie to yourself that is possible. When you stop lying, it's not possible. It's not, I can't find it. It's not physically possible for me to hate or spew evil. Anger comes up. Oh yeah, anger is real as any emotion, which is, also another discussion and relative. But there can be anger, and there can be judgment, and there can even be thoughts of like, fuck this guy, I want them to die. And that can sound like evil, but there's not actual evil will or a desire to project that or impose that. And luckily, as soon as you hear that thought, it's kind of like a joke. Like pretty quickly, it makes you kind of laugh because you're like, okay, I don't actually want to murder this person. I mean, as I think anyone can attest, like I've talked to people who've been incarcerated, and it's pretty common that after you do acts of evil and murder and whatever else it is, you feel bad about it. I mean, unless you're like really mentally ill. And then of course that's another dimension. But I'm just talking about like just most people, which it's so hard to talk about because what does most people mean? There's no neurotypical either. It's like we all have variations of brain chemistry, and we're all a little bit on spectrum this and spectrum that, and everything is a spectrum. There's no like, this is normal and this is illness, but we can sort of create apparent distinctions in some places to be able to like treat things differently. But in any case, the point is that I'm just noticing in this moment for myself how healing it is for me to even just talk to this camera as if I'm talking to people outside of myself. It's all just me talking to myself anyway, but there's something in this body that feels better, feels more enlivened and lighter, feels good for the body to outwardly express whatever is going on inside. And when I'm alone all the time, which I am all the time alone, and just like feeling and and it's all okay. Like I know it's all supposed to be here, but it feels really good to share. And there are these fantasies that arise here of like when I get to share in a more natural way that's just like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go next door to Bob and Susie's. Or probably Bob and Susie live separately because everyone's going to need their own domicile. I mean, even couples. There's just so much to feel, It's like, I don't know. I can't say how things will go, but that's just definitely how it feels now, is like, yeah, I need my space and I like it. And I miss connection and I miss community, and it's so wonderful to just be like, yeah, today was a big one, right? Or whatever it is that wants to be expressed, or even not to have to talk about it, but just to play, like I miss playing. I miss, I'm an improv lover. I miss my improv groups, which they have them online But something in me just hasn't been like motivated to go online to do play. I know I'm grateful that it exists. So definitely not gonna knock it, and maybe I'll do it. But I just realized it's like I can look at the camera, but I don't want to look at the camera. So hopefully when I don't look at the camera, it doesn't look weird. But I don't even know who's gonna see this thing. I just love making these things in some kind of theoretical universe where other people are watching. In another universe, it's like, I hope no one watches this because it's embarrassing. But it's more fun than it is embarrassing. Like, the embarrassing is just like one thought that's like, whatever. But in reality, nobody sees these because YouTube decided my videos are not worth algorithm points that whatever the value system is for what the algorithm puts in your face. Mine is the lowest of the low, so I don't get views. But it's fun to make the video, so... And I noticed I was making videos for a while, and it was so fun. And then after a while, and you just keep seeing no views, you're like, why am I doing it? The motivation just fizzles and dries up. Even though the motivation never was to get the views in the first place. It's just like, in this moment, it feels really good to do. But something about, I guess, reviewing like the history of like, this is literally going to no one, so why am I doing it? Just turned me off of doing it for a while, but then I feel the effects of it. I'm like, I don't like not doing it. So I can either A, put in effort to make them be seen, which will probably bring up another hurdle to deal with, which is going to be, how do I deal with people who hate me? Negative comments, which we all know is what is delivered on the internet. So I think I'm imagining the protective part of me that doesn't want to deal with that is why I have no views. Is like, you like doing it, put it out there, it's not going to go anywhere. The purpose is done without the risk. So who knows? I don't have the energy at all to like care to get it out there, probably for the same reason that I don't have the energy to deal with the backlash of it, or the potential backlash, who knows. But yeah, so it's not arising to do that, but I'm glad that I'm doing a video right now, and I'm glad that it's regardless of if anyone sees it. I might not even post it on YouTube. So there's that. But it's fun. There's something in like, maybe I will, that feels energizing. It's like the maybe of it, the fear of like, the excitement / fear. You know how fear is just like excitement in a different lens. Yeah, it's just a thought that creates a label for an emotion that says this is fear, or this is excitement, or this is sadness. And it's like, it's just a sensation. It's just an energy moving like this river. And then if I pointed to that bubble on the river and said, that's fear, like the part where the stick hits the water aggressively, and I go, that's fear, and that sucks, and the river is like pissed about that aggressive area, and it's like all effort goes into trying to figure out how to avoid riptides, and it's like, no, we like it when it's calm here, and then we call that enlightenment and peace and love and truth, and then we call that area bad emotions that need to be either banished or fixed. And it's like, bro, it's just a river. Like from farther back, from in the river, you're like, I'm drowning, and then you're like, I'm good. And you're like, this is too crazy. And then you're like, I made it. And then you're like, no, I lost my peace. And then you're like, I'm back home and I'm free and I'm in love. And it's like, you are the one in the river floating through all the craziness, and you're the river, and you're the craziness, and it's just there. Yeah. Then we get hung up on these labels of like, no, not the fear. Let's design my entire personality and life to avoid this thing that I don't like. And it's like, what? It makes so much sense when you're standing on the side of the river, right? And then when you're in there, you're like, I'm drowning. So I don't say this from a place of having figured anything out or like being above it in any way, because that's me. I'm the river and I'm in it as much as I'm standing outside of it. So I'm only ever talking about me, to me, from me, for me, with me. And when I say me, I don't just mean the cutie with the ears. And when I say cutie, I don't mean like attractiveness. I just mean how cute, how childlike is this like bear thing. Like what, or I don't even know what this animal is supposed to be, but it's pink, which we love. And its ears, which we love. And it's fuzzy and it's soft, which we love. Anything for me to just like become a soft, cuddly animal is like, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, well, lots of love to you, whoever you is, which is me. Thank you for this outlet. Thank you to all that is. To all that is, to all that is, to all that is, to all that is. Okay. Well, see, these gloves are supposed to be special screen touch